Hi, I'm Mark, and welcome to the weekly Outside Views report on British politics. And today I need to talk about a growing storm of scandals hitting the Scottish National Party, the SNP. Scottish National Party Treasurer Colin Beattie is now being questioned, as officials said. It's about donations of more than €700,000 that are not in the books. So the treasurer of the Scottish National Party, the SNP, was arrested on Tuesday. Authorities said Colin Beattie, he's 71, was being questioned. The move that fuels the allegations of embezzlement of party funds that surfaced 2 weeks ago after police searched the home of former SNP leader and Scottish First Minister Nicola Sturgeon and arrested her husband Peter Murrell. Murrell was released after police questioning. Sturgeon surprisingly resigned from the party leadership and from her position as First Minister of the regional government in Edinburgh in February. She had previously tried in vain to urge the British government in London to allow another referendum on Scottish independence. For this referendum, the SNP had solicited donations from its members and supporters to be used to campaign for independence ahead of a referendum. 2 weeks ago, ex-First Minister Nicola Sturgeon's husband, Peter Murrell, was temporarily arrested, as I said. Murrell was also responsible for SNP finances as the party's longtime chief executive officer. He had been released without charge, but subject to further investigation. The authorities confiscated a mobile home that the SNP is said to have purchased as a campaign bus in 2021. Sturgeon is also under personal pressure over the case. Her successor at the top of the party and government, Humza Yousaf, rejected calls for the prominent politician to be suspended from the SNP, though. Now, the resignation of former First Minister Nicola Sturgeon, which still seemed really surprising in February, seems to make more sense. And Sturgeon's husband, Peter Murrell, who was SNP CEO for a long time, as I said, has already had to answer police questions about the missing equivalent of €750,000 in donations. The funds were donated to the SNP between 2017 and 2020 for this new independence campaign and have disappeared. Sturgeon and Murrell's home has since been searched by police, as has the SNP party headquarters. On Murrell's mother's estate, police found a luxury camper van said to have been bought for campaign purposes with party funds, which had been sitting there for 2 years. In March, Murrell resigned because of incorrect information about the number of members of the SNP. There were 72,186 members, that means 30,000 fewer than the previously known figures. And last week it was also announced that the auditors of the SNP gave up their posts in October. According to Beattie, prior to his police questioning, the SNP is facing a financial fiasco due to lower than reported membership and reduced donation income. Murrell had already lent the SNP the equivalent of €122,000 in 21 to keep it liquid. All of this happened during the period when Sturgeon Murrells ruled the SNP in Scotland as a virtual family team. Some are now demanding that Sturgeon, who actually wants to remain a member of the Scottish Parliament, should resign from that office as well. They refer to an intra-party video conference from March 21, in which she dismisses questions about the party's financial situation. The SNP is doing well financially. That's what she assured at the time. Sturgeon's reputation as a trustworthy politician seems battered. Scotland's new First Minister Humza Yousaf, who narrowly won the race to succeed her after Sturgeon's departure with 52.1% of the SNP members' vote, is referring less and less to her while campaigning as the candidate who was closest to her. But Britain's first Muslim party and government leader must now prevent further exits to the Alba party, founded by former SNP leader Alex Salmond. But Yousaf only offered his former opponent in the fight for party leadership, the conservative religious Kate Forbes, who wanted to steer the party away from the liberal progressive course, a small post, and that she didn't accept. Now Forbes could poison Yousaf's party leadership. During the election campaign, the two publicly grumbled at each other. Yousaf actually wanted to continue to take a clear course against the British government in London. But now the SNP, which just months ago wanted to bring about Scottish independence, is in the deepest crisis in 50 years. There will be general elections in Great Britain next year, most probably, and Labour, the Tories, and the relatively unsuccessful Alba Party are already preparing to end SNP dominance in Scotland. I haven't talked about the Alba Party in quite a long time, since the last Scottish elections, and they didn't do very well then. But this whole situation could change a lot there. And if they can't clear up, and if Humza Yousaf can't clear up this mess in his party quickly, the SNP will be in trouble. A lot of people are still supporting the SNP, we all know this, but with which everything I can hear here in Germany about all this, there is more and more coming up every week now. And some were talking in the comments of my videos on my main channel about that is just all fabricated against the SNP to harm them and whatsoever. At the moment, I can't agree with that. Whatever research I do, I only find the official investigations here, and those are official investigations. And of course, we always have to wait for the end of an official investigation to know if someone is guilty or not, or what really happened there. And I really hope that we will find out what really happened there. And for the SNP's sake, I hope that the investigations will show that nothing happened there. But until then, everything is possible, and every outcome is possible. And you know that I am supporting the SNP regarding a Scottish independence referendum, but I'm not politically close to the SNP. Listening to Humza Yousaf as well as at the Q&As in the Scottish Parliament, they're much closer very close to our Social Democrats here than to my party. So you will know that I'm not a big friend of their general politics. It is just the thing that I think that the people in Scotland should have a say about their own future after everything changed since the first referendum with Brexit. That is the reason what I support, and that's the reason why I still support the SNP on that topic. But generally, the SNP is not a conservative party, and not very close politically to my political views. But this one thing with the Scottish independence referendum is something where I wish them all the best. But even that, and Humza Yousaf said he wants to have a grassroots movement for Scottish independence as the way to get there. Everything going on with this investigation is damaging even that topic. And I'll keep you posted on how it will develop in the future. And I'll see you in my next video. I'll be back.